In today's video, we're going to be unboxing a couple of rad power bikes. We have the Rad City 5
ST,
which I think stands for step through. And then off camera over there, we have the Rad Rover 6 Plus. So stick around and we'll set these things up. How's it going, guys? I am here with Mike King. Mike is the creator and founder of the YouTube channel Profiling Evil. I actually am lucky enough to help out on that channel. I do a little bit of the behind the scenes work, and he is well aware of my channel that has to do with e-bikes, and he's been knocking on my door, texting me, dialing my phone, saying, what e-bike should I get? And it looks like he landed on a few rad power bikes, which I don't have much experience with. I definitely know about them because they're super popular. But I want to ask you, Mike, why did you decide to go with these bikes?
Well, first, thanks to Tim in Session 73, because I wouldn't be doing this if he weren't here. I would be paying to have somebody do this, so this is really great, Tim. Thanks a lot. But I picked the Rad City and the Rad 6 Plus after looking. I mean, I spent like a year checking these things out. And I kept going back and forth. I'm price conscious, so I really like the fact that they're less expensive than some of the others. But as I watched all of the reviews on it, as I watched videos from other YouTubers, the ability for, especially the Rad 6, the ability it has off-road to go up hills and other kinds of things, had just a lot of power. So I hope that it comes through like they say on all the videos. But they were independent videos, and so I finally decided, based on cost, based on the fact that the company is up here in the northwest part of the United States, although the bikes are shipped from China, I think.
Yeah,
but it's a U.S.-based company that's found a way to get their prices and parts from China at a price that makes sense, and because of that, I ended up picking it.
Awesome. We're hoping that this video will be just another resource like Mike found when he was picking his. So we're definitely going to get into the setup of it, but I need to ask you, because you're a retired police officer and because of your expertise, it's something that's actually been on my mind, and I promise we're going to get into the setup, but it's something that's been on my mind as I've been around riding with groups of different bikes. E-bikes, they're kind of the new hot thing over the past maybe 5-10 years at the most, but different cities, as I found out, have different regulations. As different regulations come out with things like e-bikes, how do police officers stay on top of those different regulations? Now, we've ridden past a lot of police officers. These bikes, the bike that I ride, the Super 73, they tout, that they're pretty city friendly. But how do police officers know if someone's cruising by on an e-bike, what the regulations are? How do they keep up to speed on those regulations? And what can we as e-bike riders do to stay safe and follow it?
Yeah, my experience is that it's an evolving law. This will be legislated in some way over time. I mean, you can't, some of these bikes, 20, 30 miles an hour just by hitting the throttle. What's the difference between that and a gas operated motorcycle that somebody's doing? So I think we're going to see regulation come. I think it's going to be regulated at the size or speeds that they're capable of. I guess my bigger fear is from a law enforcement perspective. We'll see law enforcement certainly pick them up and use them. We're seeing police departments use them for their bike patrol units, which is a great idea because it keeps the officer from getting too tired, so that if they end up in a fight on the street or something, they are not exhausted from riding their bicycle quickly somewhere. In the same light, criminals are going to take advantage of them, and they're going to be able to cover a ton of ground in the middle of the night when they're burglarizing places. And silently. So yeah, I think this is going to be a mixed bag. We're going to continue to see it unfold. We're going to see people trying to figure out how to legislate it, and I think we're going to see politicians figuring out how to tax it.
Yeah, of course. Well, great. Thank you for your expertise. I had to get that one out of the way. Let's get into the setup of these bikes.
Perfect. Thanks.
We're going to start with the City step through first. So as you pull the bike out, it actually has a little fork stand, which is convenient because the front tire doesn't come attached. So first things first, we'll probably remove the front tire, and then we will get the handlebars set up. So as you take the bike out of the packaging, the handlebars actually don't come attached to the bike post. And it also has this nice little plate here that props the fork up. So while you're working on it and before you put the front tire on, this plate holds it in place. So I believe the next step is to get the handlebars secure. So while Mike and Kim work on taking off the packaging, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this part tool kit that I bought. It's actually a torque wrench, and it's something new that I picked up to ensure that when we're fastening the bolts on the handlebars, that they're fastened not too tight but also not too loose. So we're going to be going through using this torque wrench to make sure that we have the right torque on the bolts. And of course, if you're interested in one of these, I do have a link in the description down below. You can pick one up for yourself if you plan on putting together any bike, really. So to install the handlebars, you got to remove this cardboard piece here, and you do that by taking off the cap. We got the handlebars set up. We'll go through some final tightening here, but the next step is to throw on the front tires. So to get the front tire on, you got to loosen this axle skewer here, is what they call it, and then it should lift right off of that plate there. So once you've removed the skewer from the plate there, you throw it into the tire. Make sure that the little lever there is on the brake, the rotor side. Pull off that plate. You need to pull out this little thing. This keeps your brake pads apart in shipping. So from here on out, we don't want to squeeze the lever until we got the bike on the rotor there. So you just hand tighten that lever till it gets a little.
How do you know how tight, Tim?
So what they say is to rotate it till it gets a little snug, and then when you push it up with the palm of your hand, it should leave a little imprint on the palm of your hand. So that might be too tight. So try that one. And probably do it towards the fork too, if you can.
Yeah. So that's maybe a
That feels pretty good.
Well, that's not too bad, is it?
No. All right, it's starting to look like a bike. The next step is to throw on the fenders and the headlight. Those are very important for night riding and riding in inclement weather, which I don't know if Mike will be doing much
We're
of.
going to be doing it like crazy alone.
So we got the fender sliding
Why am
through
I
there.
not listening to you, Tim?
yes.
And once you get the fender, through, then you tie it to the fork there along with the headlight, which we'll install in just a second. So we got the fenders installed. It's a fairly easy install. Basically what you do is you run the fender bracket and the bolt through the fork here along with the headlight, and then you tighten that up, and then you just tie the fenders into these brackets that actually come uninstalled. So you have to install these brackets. Pretty easy to do, but it's looking pretty good. So we use the torque wrench to tighten the handlebar bracket. We've been following a video that Rad Power Bikes put out, and they say to torque this to 10 Newton meters. Again, that's going to ensure that we don't over tighten it or that it's too loose. So this is a torque wrench. I have a link for it down in the description below. All right, so Mike and Kim are going to be setting up the Rad Rover Plus. I have that one going on a time lapse here, so I'll be sure to throw that in this video. The setup is actually pretty similar to what we saw with the Rad City 5, so we won't get into that. This is the Rad City Plus, fully assembled here. pretty easy to do. Really, the only parts that you have to set up are the handlebars, the tire, the front fender, and the pedals. So a few more steps than a Super 73, but I'm gonna take this thing for a quick ride and let you know what I think. I'm out for a cruise on the Rad City 5, and so let me tell you a little bit about this bike. Of course, I left my helmet, so don't ride a bike without a helmet. Follow what I say, not what I do. Anyway, this bike has a 750 watt motor, has about a 45-mile range depending on the pedal assist that you use. It has a 5-step pedal assist, and the battery is 48 volts, 14 amp hours. The throttle is a half twist throttle. So you got your pedal assist and then of course just the throttle as well. So it has hydraulic brakes, and the top speed when the governor kicks in is about 20 miles an hour. The Rad Power Bike setup. Again, I'm standing behind the Rad City 5 Plus. Mike, what are you standing behind?
This is the Rad Rover 6 Plus, and they're both step-throughs, which I wanted just because I'm getting a little older.
Yeah, so setup was actually pretty easy. I know we were kind of all over the place setting it up, but on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I thought with Rad's video instructions, I thought it went really smoothly.
Yeah, super easy. So this is by no means a comprehensive setup. We just wanted to do a little bit of an unboxing and review. And I think the bikes look great. I think this dark gray color looks really nice, and it'll help with, you know, when you're doing your off-road stuff, it won't look as dirty. They do come with a white option as well, right?
That's right, yeah. And of course, my wife wanted the rack on it. I don't necessarily care about a rack, but you can get them all aftermarket, and you get them through Rad or online, and we'll be decking them out with some things for our iPhones to sit on, and water bottle holders and stuff like that.
Perfect. Well, I had a chance to ride both of them. They're very comfortable. I do like the fat tire. That's what I'm familiar with the Super 73. But I just want to thank you, Mike, for letting me impose on your day off here and setting up these bikes. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit from this, and Mike, I hope you and your wife have a great time on them.
We're going to have a blast. I hope everybody's subscribing to Session 73. I know I do, and it's going to be fun to watch this roll out. And I'll tell you, kudos to the Rad Bike Company. They really do a nice job. It'll be fun. It went awfully fast for me when I did a test drive out in the street, so it'll be fun to put them to work.
Yeah, so max speed about 20 miles an hour. I'm not sure if that's adjustable through any software or anything like that, but that's how they come out of the box. Anyway, if you like this video, and if you like these bikes, I actually have a link down in the description below. These are around the $2,000 range. So anyway, yeah, if you like the video, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up. Check out Profiling Evil. I'll also link Mike's channel down below as well. They do true crime stuff, so it's pretty interesting. Some local profiles as well as some of the bigger national cases. So if you're into true crime, be sure to check that out. Hit that subscribe button on both channels, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Rad Power Bikes, and have a great rest of your day.
Perfect. Thanks, Tim.